Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you my way to make sure that you do not have CPU overloads. And I know it's a massively common problem. For the first 10 years I had nothing but issues. I started out on a really crappy computer and I spent about £2,000 on a Mac Tower. I couldn't believe it when I thought, wow, I'm going to have no issues at all. FL Studio constantly crashing and overloading. And anyway, spent all this money on this Mac, and the same thing happened again, like constant issues. In the end, I think it's because I didn't understand back then processing power. RAM has pretty much not really got much to do with it. It's all down to the processor. Anything under an i7 is just not going to work for music production. It's really, really bad. I currently run an i9. I do have a shitload of RAM, something like 72 gigabytes, but the key for me was my file management. So I'm going to show you how I did it, how I do it. So on my computer, I only have the projects that I'm currently working on. To be honest with you, half of these should go. The rest of my projects are on my external hard drive. I'm doing the production HHD and their Logic projects HSD. So finished ideas and what I'm working on. So a lot of these tracks in the Logic projects can probably be moved, but not going to do that right now. I've been procrastinating for the longest time. Anyway, so what you want to do is basically get all the projects that you're not working on onto an external hard drive. What I would do if I was you, I'd go to external hard drive and create a folder called Production HHD or HD, hard drive. And then I would have the same kind of thing on your desktop. So production SD, so SSD drive. This is my SSD, this is my hard drive. Anyway, so what I would do is I would get all your projects that you're not currently working on and put them on your external. And aside from that, you need to have all your samples on your main drive. If you have your samples on an external hard drive, they're going to have to go from the hard drive through a wire to your computer. And the biggest change for me is when I moved all my samples from my external to my computer. So now when I load up Logic, all the samples are on the computer, they're not on an external, and it made a massive difference. Now I've got way more samples than this, way more, but this really is what I use. I don't really use much more than this. We've got Dayparks of 1 and 2, Dayparks and Sounds of Trance, Future Trance, Amplified. We've got Levithian by Black Octopus, and that's pretty much it. Realistically speaking, all the sounds are fairly similar. I've also just got into Splice and into Loop Cloud, which I'm using a little bit, so I've got some options there too. But yeah, less is more. So what you need to do is put all your Logic projects or all your projects onto an external hard drive, apart from the ones that you're using. Get all your samples, apart from the ones that you're using, on the external. And the third tip is you want to keep at least 50% of your hard drive free. So I've got a 2 terabyte SSD. Let's go to storage. And you see that I'm only using half of it. So they are my tips for making your projects and your CPU really come to life. Now, if you've got a really old computer and it's an i5 and you've got 8 megabytes of RAM, nothing's going to help. But if you've got a fairly decent computer and you've got at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you have got at least half your hard drive free, and you put all your projects and everything that you're not using onto an external to free up the hard drive space, and if you've just got the projects that you're working on and the samples, your main samples on your desktop, that's going to really improve things. I can now run pretty much 200 channels, and I have a lot of stuff. I mean, let me open up a recent project. Now this actually now, I believe, is on the external. I'm going to have to check because I'll end up playing it and it'll end up doing loads of system hard drive crashes. Let's just check. Logic projects. I did finish it, but I've got to come back and make some changes actually, funnily enough. So but yeah, the hard drive crashes were just too much, man. The stress these cause, it's just horrible. I reckon I've wasted half my production life dealing with that kind of stuff. So yeah, look, it looks like I moved it. So before I work on this, I'm going to move it back. So if I go to external hard drive, Logic projects, finished. We gather. And we want to put that back. Might be dangerous moving it while it's open. But yeah, I mean, with this project here, you can see 167 channels, and I can promise you I don't have any problems at all. Now, it might have some problems now because this file is currently on external, but even let's even see. They took a seat outside your throne. There are the pure, unblemished voices. Cool, so you can see that the CPU is only half, and you know, we're running 167 channels. So I think that's down to the fact that I've got a really powerful computer. It's an i9, got lots of RAM. We've got half a space free and empty, which is good. But yeah, when I didn't have all this, when I had the i7 and I had like 16 gigabytes of RAM, I didn't realize that the extra hard disk space made a difference. The biggest difference for me was when as I say, I just kept the samples that I use on the desktop and everything else on the external. Back then, all my Logic projects and all my samples were on my external, and just that one simple change can really make a difference. So yeah, hope that's helped. As always, drop a comment, subscribe, like the video, and if you've got any requests or you want any information about my one-to-one lessons, you can email me, tutorials@adamellisdj.com. That's tutorials@adamellisdj.com. Thank you so much, guys, and have a good day.